Israel. First and foremost, want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Mashiach, Kumalak Yahushua, Brother Tazamah.
Brother Shemawal.
Right, coming at you with another code cut through the spirit. Right, first and foremost, want to give a strong shalom to the mighty men. They're going out there, they're laboring. They're presenting their bodies as a living sacrifice. They're doing all they can to wake up the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Not only that, they're enduring the elements, the 100-degree weathers, freezing below coals, and everything that's trying to hinder the work of the Most High. Shalom, shalom. Want to give another strong shalom to the Akwath, the sisters that are out there. They're reverencing their husbands, being teachers of good things, tender, delicate, and unmarried sisters as well, being tender, delicate, and on fire for the Most High God. Shalom, shalom. Last but not least, want to give another strong shalom to the mighty teenagers and children doing all they can to make their calling and election sure, right, in these last days, right? And shalom to everybody tuning in to the live stream and that will tune in, Most High willing. And the topic of this cold cut is a biblical Q&A, volume 2, bring all questions. Right, so we're going to take questions for maybe about an hour or so. Any questions that you have had reading over the scriptures, it's an account, it's a specific precept. All right, somebody might have asked you a question at your job. All right, it's questions. Hey, somebody might have talked about the scriptures and it's a certain doctrine that it might have arisen. You know, people, they come up with they have many different questions all the time, depending on the scenario and the circumspect, right? So, I mean, you got to ask your questions, man. Let's go to Proverbs 15 and 28. Right, let's go to the book of Proverbs 15 and 28.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 15, verse 28. The heart of the righteous studieth to answer.
Right.
But the mouth of the wicked poureth out evil things.
See that? So the heart of the righteous man, he's going to study to find out the answer to certain things. Right? He's going to seek out the wisdom, seek out the ancients. Hey, guess what? Men, they going to come to you. They're going to ask questions. Just like Queen Sheba, hey, she heard Solomon had a lot of wisdom, knowledge, understanding, and experience. And she came to ask him hard questions, man. She didn't just go to anybody, a regular man. Guess what? She went to King Solomon to see if these things was true. And guess what? King Solomon, he answered every single last one of her questions to the T through the spirit and power, and she was left speechless. So guess what? The Lord has commanded us in these last days to move and operate in the same spirit. Right? So I believe we have a first question. It says, what happens when we die? Right? What happens when we die? Let's go to Ecclesiastes. Right? Chapter 12 and verse number 7. Right? So when you die, you actually go into resting mode. All right? It's not you die, you go straight to hell. You die, you go straight to heaven. Now, through the spirit, you're going to be in the third heaven where the rest of the spirits dwell. But when you die, it's synonymous for rest. Why? Because you're going to have to, especially in this generation, you're going to have to be resurrected in the end when the second coming of Christ happens. So when you die, it's not just the end all be all. People have a concept, he in a better place. Is he lying? No, that person that passed is in a better place. Nevertheless, it's not, you don't want to think it's Christianity and everything goes black. Or you believe in the Egyptians and next thing you know, you're in the underworld, the afterworld, the afterlife, where it's nothing but cats ruling. And gold. Right, so bring it up.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12, verse 7. Then shall the dust return to the earth as it was, and the spirit shall return unto God who gave it.
Right, so your body, when you die, your body goes back into the earth. Right? Dust to dust, ashes to ashes. Because this flesh, cannot enter into the spirit realm. And once this flesh goes back to where it came from, your spirit also goes back to where it came from as well. Where did it come from? It came from the third heaven, where the Most High dwells at, right? Where you have all the hosts of heaven on one side and the other hosts of heaven on another side. Right, let's go to 2 Chronicles 18 and 18.
It's the book of 2 Chronicles, chapter 18, verse 18. Again, he said, therefore, hear the word of the Lord. I saw the Lord sitting upon his throne, and all the host of heaven standing on his right hand and on his left.
So you have a lot of spirits. You have a lot of angelical spirits, right? The innumerable multitude of angels. It's a lot of spirits in the third heaven. The spirits of heathens, the spirits of beasts, etc. So you have the host of heaven on one side, which represents righteousness, if it's on the right side. And then you have the host of heaven on the left-hand side, which represents the evil. Because the left usually is the weaker hand. Read on.
And the Lord said, who shall entice Ahab, king of Israel,
Right.
that he may go up and fall at Ramoth Gilead? And one spake, saying, after this manner, and another saying, after that manner.
Right, that's it on that. Let's go to Revelation chapter 6. Right, let's go to Revelation chapter 6 and verse number 8.
It's the book of Revelation, chapter 6, verse 8. And I looked, and behold, a
Verse
pale,
9.
Verse 9. And when he had opened the fifth seal, I saw under the altar the souls of them that were slain for the word of God.
Right.
And for the testimony which they held.
So you're going to have men during the time of the fifth seal. They're going to be persecuted and they're going to be killed for the word of the Most High God. They're going to be keeping the commandments, on fire, blazing, doing mighty works. And the Esau chiefly, he's going to come in like a flood and try to kill and destroy them and stop the whole movement. So you're going to have certain men, they're going to be killed for the word of God. Read on.
And they cried with a loud voice, saying, how long, O Yahweh, holy and true, doest thou not judge and avenge our blood on them that dwell on the earth?
See that? Because they're going to be, when they die, they're going to go back up to the spirit world and they're going to be complaining and crying out to the Most High. Lord, didn't you just see what just happened? How long are you going to avenge us of the blood, the innocent blood that was shed? So that's letting you know these spirits, they're going to be in a spirit world with the Most High, pleading to the Father to get that avengement. Read on.
And white robes were given unto every one of them. And it was said unto them that they shall rest yet for a little season.
That what?
That they should rest yet for a little season.
See that? Because you're at rest. Your spirit is never going to be destroyed. Never. All right. And the Most High because if the Lord just starts destroying spirits, how is the regeneration going to happen? The evil spirits, they have to be regenerated. The good spirits, they have to be regenerated. So your spirit is going to live forevermore. That's why the Lord said in Ezekiel 18:4, all souls are mine, said the Lord. So you're going to be at rest. Read on.
Until their fellow servants also, and their brethren that should be killed as they were.
Meaning until the rest of the prophecies be fulfilled. After these prophecies fulfilled, the second coming of Christ comes in return. All right. All hell break loose. The resurrection happens. Then the kingdom get rebuilt. This all leading up to, well, it plays a part in the death that you have. All right. And then it's not a bad thing to die. A lot of people think, it's a bad thing to die. A lot of people are afraid of death. All right, let's go to Sirach chapter 41 to deal with that. Right. Actually, that might be Sirach 43 and 1. Slocky.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 43, verse 1. The pride of the height, the clear firmament, the beauty
Yes,
of heaven.
Sirach 41 and 1.
Right, this is the book of Sirach, chapter 41, verse 1. O death, how bitter is the remembrance of thee to a man that liveth at rest in his possessions.
Right.
Unto the man that have nothing to vex him, and that have prosperity in all things.
Right. So it's going into the death and how the average everyday man and woman has to think about death. Whether you have great riches, whether you're poor, whether you live in a good life. Read on.
Yeah, unto him that is yet able to receive meat. O death, acceptable is thy sentence unto the needy.
Right.
And unto him whose strength faileth, that is now in the last age, and is vexed with all things, and to him that despaireth and have lost patience.
So unto a person that's living a good life, they're enjoying things, they have great money, wealth, possessions, death is bitter. But death is acceptable to the needy, the people that want to die, the people that's poor on the bottom, they're desperate, they lost patience, they lost hope. Verse 3.
Fear not the sentence of death.
It says what?
Fear not the sentence of death.
Yeah, you got a lot of people, they scared to die, man. You can't be scared, you can't be afraid of death. It's going to happen to majority of the people in the world except for the true chosen elect, which are not going to die till they see the Son of Man coming in his kingdom. If you're not a part of that, guess what? You got to deal with it. Read on.
Fear not the sentence of death. Remember them that have been before thee.
Right. Remember, it's great. It's a lot of great men that have died. King David. Hey, Yahushua, he's the Son of Man. He tasted death. Solomon. Adam. Noah. Read on.
And that come after. For this is the sentence of the Lord over all flesh.
Right.
And why art thou against the pleasure of the Most High?
Right. Why are you against the pleasure of the Most High? You got certain people, they literally take certain things and use certain things to prolong their life because they don't want to die. They do transplants. They in all type of wickedness and madness. Read on.
There is no inquisition in the grave, whether thou have lived 10 or 100 or 1,000 years.
See that? It is what it is. All right, it's the covenant over all flesh. Right, so that's dealing with death and, you know, where you die, or where you go when you die. So we're going to move on to the next question. It says, what gate would Dinah go through since she's the daughter and not the 12 tribes, which are the brothers? Let me read that again. It says, what gate would Dinah go through since she's the daughter and not the 12 tribes, which are the brothers? Well, that's, you know, unknown. Just like Abraham, we wouldn't know what gate Abraham would go through because Abraham didn't descend from the 12 tribes. We wouldn't know what gate Adam would go through in the kingdom. We wouldn't know what gate Isaac is going to go through in the kingdom. But these men are still going to be in the kingdom. Right, let's go to the book of Matthew 8 and 11. Right. And we wouldn't know what gate Enoch could go through the Spirit. And he was a righteous man. But these are all people that live before the time that the Israelites were established. Because the Israelites are the youngest nation. So bring that up.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 8, verse 11. And I say unto you that many shall come from the east and west, and shall sit down with Abraham and Isaac and Jacob in the kingdom of heaven.
Right. Now, Jacob doesn't have a tribe himself. All right. So if he doesn't have a tribe through himself, yes, Jacob would be considered an Israelite in a regeneration. Nevertheless, he doesn't have a tribe that he goes to because he's the progenitor. Isaac, he's not an Israelite. Abraham is not an Israelite. Yet these men are still going to be in the kingdom. So that's, you know, you don't want to get too deep and try to, you know, figure out these things, and you know you could get bugged out. Let's like that. Let's go to the book of Sirach, chapter 33. Actually, Sirach chapter 3 and 21. Right, Sirach chapter 3 and 21.
It's the book of Sirach, chapter 3, verse 21. Seek not out the things that are too hard for thee,
Right.
neither search the things that are above thy strength.
Right. Certain things the Most High has had or has had happen is above our strength to be able to find out. Such as how many sand is on the sea. That's above our strength. I wouldn't be able to answer that question. All right. Such as, I mean, you have sand that's underneath the oceans. You know how many land masses is on the earth. The Most High has many. The Lord has, you know, a land of 1,000 hills. So certain things is above man's strength. Nevertheless, that would be the answer to your question. It says from Kingdom Minded 144K, how to overcome lust and corn. Right. I'm assuming you talking about how to overcome lust and porn. Right. So if you're dealing with the spirit of lust, you have to keep in mind the spirit of lust is a very powerful spirit and demon in the third heaven. And that demon is specifically to target the chosen ones, chiefly the men on the men and women that have a high calling for the Most High, and overthrow them and destroy them. Right? Lust is a spirit, that's a dark spirit. You know, I was talking about this to a brother maybe 2 weeks ago. Lust is a spirit you do not want to play with, you don't want to entertain. If I was to compare the spirit of lust, I would compare it to a F5 tornado.
Man.
Because it's destructive. People marriages, you look on online, people marriages get destroyed through lust. Damn, people cheating on each other. All of that is lust. People having kids.
Financial.
It's gonna mess with you financially. People having kids. You have a baby by a woman. You thought it was love, but it was lust. So she ended up messing with another man, and you just had a kid by her, and now she put you on child support. Because it's lust. Lust is not a lot of love in this world. It's a lot of lust. The opposite of lust is love. What is love? Keeping the commandments of the Lord. That's true love. Worshiping Yahweh by Shem Yahushua. Operating in the commandments, the fruits of the Spirit. So you have to first know the spirit of lust. And lust is a damn destructive, evil spirit that the Most High has created to overthrow men, and which the spiritual demon Satan uses to overthrow men for them to stop fulfilling that high calling that the Most High has called them for. Right? So let's go to the book. I mean, it's a lot of precepts. Let's go to Romans 7:7. Just to get the foundation of the spirit of lust.
All right. It's the book of Romans, chapter 7, verse 7. What shall we say then? Is the law sin? God forbid. Nay, I had not known sin but by the law.
Right?
For I had not known lust, except the law has said, thou shalt not covet.
See that? So lust actually goes back to thou shalt not covet. The lust is just you have a strong desire. Now you have many desires. You could desire to worship idols. All right? You have sexual lust, where you desiring to have sexual intercourse. You have fornication. All right? You have adultery, homosexuality. These all fall in the category of thou shalt not covet, which goes back to the law. Now, since we're talking about sexual lust, man or woman, guess what? That's the hardest thing known to man. Look at these people in the world. They lustful. It's all lust now, literally. It's all lust. And guess what? They can't control their lust. That's why the world is the way it is. It's a lot of divorces going on. All right. It's a lot of weak men. All right. And Satan, he's using, and if you're talking about sexual lust and you're a man, a Satan, he's using these women. All of the majority of these women in the world, Satan is using them to target you because he knows lust is a powerful spirit and he could destroy you with that. And he's using these women on the same side. Hey, it's women, it's sisters that get their life destroyed by lust. But that's why you have to abstain from it. You have to first identify this spirit, have experience with it, and then guess what? You gotta abstain from it. Because if you're not aware of lust, it's gonna sneak up on you and it's gonna overthrow you. Right, let's go to Sirach 18 and verse number 30.
Look at Sirach chapter 18, verse 30. Go not after thy lust, but refrain thyself from thine appetite.
See that? So you can't go after your lust. If you have a porn addiction, you gotta refrain from that. Now there's ways to refrain from that, but porn, I mean, that's madness. All right, the Jewish man, they set up the porn industries. Porn is destroying a lot of brothers. You know what I'm saying? We be, hearing stuff going around. A lot of brothers deal with lust. And lust is a spirit that's gonna attack you in the dark. It wants you to battle it secretly. Lust doesn't want you to get light on it. And a lot of brothers in high positions deal with lust because it's targeting them secretly. It's targeting them in the dark. And that causes a lot of secret battles and you being overthrown behind closed doors. You could literally look in a man in his eyes and see what spirit he's moving in and indulging in. So that's why it says, refrain thyself from go not after thy lust. Everybody deals with lust in some way, shape, or form. But you can't go after your appetites. You can't give your soul the desires of it that please thee. Read on.
If thou givest thy soul the desires that please her,
Meaning you indulge in that lust. Meaning you freak off with that girl. All right. You women, you freak off with that man knowing you shouldn't be doing it. You watching pornography. You get in the magazine, whatever the case is. You giving your soul the desires of it that please thee. Read on.
she will make thee a laughing stock.
She will what?
She will make thee a laughing stock.
Meaning you're gonna be a laughing stock. Them demons, every time you indulge in that, they're gonna laugh at you. They're gonna say, "Hey man, we got him again." Right?
Easy.
Yeah, this is too easy. He gonna keep going after the same video too. All right, that's madness. All right, man. Yeah, this is too easy. All right, they're gonna be laughing. These demons, you indulge in those spirits. Hey, these demons, they're gonna be laughing at you, man. Read on.
She will make thee a laughing stock to thine enemies,
Right.
that malign thee. Right? Take not pleasure in much good cheer.
That's it on that. But she gonna make you a laughing stock. And the Most High, he's not gonna be pleased with that. And he's gonna curse you and judge you. Look at King David. King David, he was the king over Israel. He was mighty at valiant wars, slaying men, saving Israel. Hey, David defeated a giant before he dealt with the spirit of lust. So when you're not operating in the spirit of lust, which you shouldn't be, guess what? You're going to be able to do great things. But the moment you operate and deal in that spirit, everything is going to go to downhill. Look at David. David went from being mighty to now his daughter got raped. He had a child. The Most High killed that child. He ended up killing another woman's husband in war and lied about it. Absalom turned against him. Israel got judged. All of these spirits came due to what? Lust and to destroy things. Look at King Solomon. King Solomon had a northern kingdom, southern kingdom. Guess what? They was all one in righteousness. The kingdom split due to Solomon's lust for many strange women. So you want to count the cost with lust and say, do I want to destroy my life and operate in lust? Or do I want to refrain from lust and do powerful things? Right, let's go to 1 Peter chapter 2 and 11. Right, 1 Peter chapter 2 and 11.
It's the book of 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 11. Dearly beloved, I beseech you as strangers and pilgrims,
Right.
abstain from fleshly lust, which war against the soul.
Right, so you have to abstain from fleshly lust against the soul. That's why people's lives messed up right now. People don't have no, you lose your job because of lust. You're going to lose a lot. Like the brother said, your financials. Now, that's dealing with sexual lust. Dealing with pornography, meaning you watching people have sexual, and we got to talk about it. All right, it is what it is. But you watching people on the screen have sexual intercourse. Guess what? That's pure folly, and that's madness. And there's so many spirits in one. You got homosexuality in that. You got damn lust of the flesh in that. You got the lust of the eyes in that. You got pride in that. It's so many spirits in that, and a lot of that stuff start from young age. Brothers, they get exposed to that at a young age. A lot of women get exposed to that. A lot of women get raped when they're younger. And that spirit is always there. And as you get older, Satan plays on that spirit that you might have had from a youth. But you got to identify that, and you have to stop.
Right.
And if you doing that and you doing whatever you doing to a screen, I mean, I don't know what to say to that, right? That's just, don't do that at all. All right, stop. You got to stop that. You wasting your life. All right, you wasting your energy. You down wasting time. You could be doing something productive. The sexual energy is actually powerful. You could take that sexual energy and you could create a baby with that. Another person, a human being. So how much more you take that sexual energy and you put that towards your goals? You put that towards studying. You put that towards, you might work out. You put that towards reading, serving the Most High, acquiring wisdom. You want to probably get a house soon. You get a house, a car. Do not let 5 minutes of pleasure destroy your entire life. And I've seen men on videos, they say, hey, man, this spirit, the pornography destroyed 22 years of my life going to it. 22 years is a long time. That's a long time to be dealing with the same. We gonna go. Let's get a couple precepts on it. All right. Let's go to the book of history of Susanna. All right.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
All right, let's go to the book of history of Susanna, verse number 8. Right. So if we not trying to be funny with it, because this is a serious matter, but we just gonna keep it a buck. All right. It's strange lust. You in your room, you get tempted, you damn turn on the video, you know what I'm saying? You doing things to yourself. That's lust. You're not even thinking about the laws, statutes, and commandments. You're not even thinking about the judgments that's gonna happen to you after you do this. Why? Because lust blinds. It blinds you so you can forget just judgments and forget the precepts. Everything, you have to pay for everything. Everything has a cost to it. Let's bring this up.
This is the book of history of Susanna, right? Verse 8. And the two elders saw her going in every day.
Right.
And walking, so that their lust was inflamed toward her.
So these men got their lust inflamed, amped up. Hey, that's the same thing. You watching those videos. You got people, they watch that stuff every day, man.
Every day.
To the point where they can't even look at a woman for her spirit. They look at her like she's a piece of meat. Vice versa, women do the same thing. They're perverted in their mind. Life is much more to life than pornography. It's much more to life than sex. Read on.
So like it too, another point. It's brothers, maybe sisters too, that forget to eat because they indulging in that spirit. They don't eat all day.
See that?
All day. Verse 9. And they perverted their own mind and turned away their eyes, that they might not look unto heaven,
Right?
nor remember just judgment.
See that? They so deep and caught up into the screen, what's going on, and not even knowing that's actually messing up your body. It's messing up your brain because you think of your brain is thinking it's reproducing, but it's not. You're doing evilness behind the screen, which is weird and is weak. I'm gonna just keep it a buck. If you doing that, you're not a man.
So
It is you soft, you weak, and Esau uses that tool to emasculate you. That's why a lot of these women, they have you brothers wrapped up in their hand, man.
easy, man.
Easy. It's easy for these sisters. Why? Because you can't control your sexual desire. A man that can control his sexual desire is unstoppable. So you doing that is messing with your dopamine. You going to is messing with your dopamine. So you getting the natural high that you do get off enjoying simple things in life. All of that is gone. You get that quick dopamine, then it shoots right down. Same thing when you pop ecstasy, perks, Adderalls. You get that quick shoot, and then eventually it goes straight down. And you could literally look into this. Men that watch porn and women, their brain is different from somebody that doesn't. Their brain is damaged. Your confidence is all low. You got your head down. All right, you can't look at them. You can't look a female in her eyes. And you could look at a brother and tell if he's watching porn or not. You could see that spirit on him. And again, a lot of brothers, they battle this behind closed doors instead of getting light on it and overcoming that. So all praise to the Most High. You were able to acknowledge that and ask and seek help. Right? I know you got some precepts on it you want to bring up.
God, yeah, I do actually got a precept. Like the brother saying, I dealt with the spirit, and oftentimes too it comes up. But what you have to do is you need to realize your triggers. You have to pay attention to your triggers. You know what you deal with, so what are you gonna do to have it not overtake you? Right, let's go to Matthew. Right, matter of fact, let's go to Psalm 37. You know it's evil for you, right? Let's go to Matthew. Right, Matthew chapter 5. Right, Matthew chapter 5, verse 29. It reads, if thy right eye offend thee, pluck it out and cast it from thee. Right, so you're dealing with this spirit, you have to pluck it out. What is on your phone? What triggers you? Is it social media? You got brothers that don't have Instagram. I don't have Instagram. I don't have Snapchat. I don't even have Facebook. I don't have none of those things. Lord willing, I'm willing to take off YouTube off my damn phone. And just only have it on my PS5, right? Only have it on my laptop. Because it's only going to be for studying, So if it's social media, you got to plug it out, cast it out, right? It says, for it is profitable for thee that one of thy members should perish, and not that thy whole body should be cast into hell. And how your whole body be cast into hell is destruction, the nuclear fire of what the Most High is going to put on the spirit of Esau to push that button. You don't want your whole body cast into hell, man. Verse 30, it says, and if thy right eye offend thee, cut it off and cast it from thee. Right? So like your right hand offend thee, cut it off and cast it from thee, for it is profitable for thee that one of thy members should perish, and not that thy whole body should be cast into hell. So you gotta, pay attention to your triggers, man. If you know that You look at Eve on Facebook, whatever it is. You may don't need Facebook. Yeah, you may unfriend her or so and so and this and that. You maybe don't need Facebook. I know a lot of brothers don't need social media at all, right? So if that triggers you, cut it off. Right, let's go to Sirach, one precept. Right, Sirach chapter 37. All right. Sirach 37 and verse 27. It says, "My son, prove thy soul and thy life, and see what is evil for it, and give not that unto it." So this is mercy from the Lord for you to even know that's evil for you. Because a lot of people don't know that that dang on porn demon is evil for them. Right? I had a brother, I know the brother when I was staying in Texas, he was introduced to it by his own parents. Say, yeah, just do that. I just don't want to see you. It's madness. He didn't know it's actually, Lord willing, he knows now, but his whole life he didn't know it was evil for it. Then you got some people that do know, but they don't know how to stop. But now, since you know by the Spirit of the Lord it's evil, you have to cut it off. If that's social media, right, you probably just only need to just text on your phone. If it's brothers that you kick it with that do it, you may need to cut them off. If they're not trying to be on the same path as you, cut them off, right? But you got it.
Nah, that's right. You definitely want to prove what's good for your soul, and you want to cut off all distractions. And then you have to realize your self-worth. You're a king from the tribe of Judah. You're an Israelite from what you might be from the northern kingdom tribe. You're a sister. You're better than the spirit of lust. I'm better than lust. Lust is not better than me. When you, and deep down and subconsciously, you indulge in that, that's because you believe that spirit is stronger than you. You believe it's better than you. It's impossible for lust, because I know who I am. Lust is not better than me. It never will be. So I can't indulge in that spirit. That's like, you got stuff. You see somebody together with somebody. Your parents might say, you know what, y'all not compatible. All right, you might be above her. All right, somebody, or you might be comparing yourself to a basketball player. You better than him.
Right.
So that's how you have to look at it. You're better than all of these spirits that's trying to come attack you. You see that these spirits are coming to you, and you're not coming to them. You only come to these spirits when you're in the world and you're trying to cope with the problems that you have. When you're in this truth, these spirits are attacking you. So it's showing you who got the upper hand. It's showing you who got the most leverage. It's showing you who's stronger. Right, so I got one more precept on that, 1 Corinthians 6 and 18. Right, so if you're a man especially, no pornography at all. That's a no-no. I believe when you watch old movies like the 1930s and these old clips, you have older men telling the younger men, hey, stay away from these adult shops, because they know that's a real addiction. And guess what? That could destroy your whole entire life. It's people 60 years old still wrapped up in lust. 40 years old. You have to be the one to, damn, it get real active, man. 50s, 60s, 70s. And they would never, ever experience what love is. So bring that out, 1 Corinthians chapter 16. Not 1 Corinthians 16, 1 Corinthians 6 and 18.
1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 18. Flee fornication.
What the Lord say?
Flee fornication.
Right, you got to run from that spirit. You got to get up out of there. Read on.
Every sin that a man doeth is without the body.
So majority of the sins that you do is without the body. You eat pork, that's without the body. You smoke, that's without the body. All right? You get tattoos, yes, it's on your flesh, but that's still without the body. Read on.
But he that committeth fornication sinneth against his own body.
See that? Now you sinning against your own soul, right? Now it's more internally. All right, it's gonna alter your spirit. So you have to be very careful dealing with the spirit of lust. You want to know what's, like we said earlier, you know what a lust is personified, that spirit? Go look at a F5 tornado and see how destructive that F5 tornado is. That's the best way I could describe it. All right, let's move on to the next question. It says, Shalom, King. Is there any scripture to explain why it is chiefly Judah and Issachar chiefly together in Babylon in present day? Well, I mean, we could go to Genesis chapter 49. Right, it's a lot of tribes that's with Judah. Gad, all right, Reuben. It's not just Issachar. But when you go by lands where these tribes would be in the last days, you have Issachar over here. It's not a lot of Gadites left, but it used to be a lot of Gadites, a lot of Judites, people that you think are Judah, they're really Gad. A lot of them. When you go into the history. So, it's a lot of, we really don't really know. 9 times out of 10, you see a brother that's a Judite, 9 times out of 10, he's really probably from the tribe of Gad. All right. It may not seem like that, but he's really probably from the tribe of Gad when you go into that history. Right. But let's go to the book of Genesis 49 and verse 10.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 49, verse 10. The scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor a lawgiver from between his feet, until Shiloh come.
It's like you start at verse 8.
Verse 8. Judah, thou art he whom thy brother shall praise.
Right.
Thy hand shall be in the neck of thine enemies.
So it says Judah is going to be in the neck of thy enemies. Meaning what? That our enemies is literally going to have us in the chokehold on one fold, but on the other fold, dealing with geographically, the neck is the top part of your body. Represent that the tribe of Judah will be in a top kingdom that's on the earth, which is America. Read on.
Thy father's children shall bow down before thee.
Right.
Judah is a lion's whelp. From the prey, my son, thou art gone up. He stooped down, he croucheth as a lion, and as an old lion, who shall rouse him up?
Because the tribe of Judah used to be very, very active in the political system, civil rights, but then they swooped down as a young. They got lazy, like a lion. You see a lion sometimes is real lazy, don't want to do nothing. All right, but when it's active, it's the king of the jungle. So who's gonna rise up the tribe of Judah? The Most High He is. Now jump down to verse 14. So it's letting you know that the tribe of Judah will be in the neck of thy enemies, meaning in the top kingdom on the earth. Verse 14.
Verse 14. Issachar is a strong ass, crouching down between two burdens.
And those two burdens are North America and South America. Right in between is Mexico. All right. And inside Mexico, you have a lot of different tribes. You have that was in that area. You have Guatemalans, you have the Hondurans, the Honduras people, Belize, etc. Once you go a little bit further down. So it's not just Issachar and Judah. That's what you see all together clicked up. But when you really go in depth, it's a lot of tribes that's, with the so-called Judites. So we're going to move on to the next question. It says from Quadan, can we buy, sell, and work during the destruction of Nicanor? I need a clarification because of Nehemiah 10 and 31. All right, let's go to Nehemiah chapter 10 and 31.
This is the book of Nehemiah, chapter 10, verse 31. And if the people of the land bring ware or any victuals on the Sabbath day to sell,
right,
that we would not buy it of them on the Sabbath or on the holy day.
Right, so on any holy day, there's no buying or selling. All right, that's on any holy day. Now you have certain holy days where it's not going to say no servile work, like the Feast of Purim. It doesn't say, okay, this is a holy day, you should not buy or sell, and there should be no work therein. So it's not a Sabbath, meaning you could work, but you can't buy or sell. So for the destruction of Nicanor, you can't buy or sell, but you can have servile work. Now you have certain feast days where, again, first and foremost, you can never buy or sell on any holy day. But you have certain feast days also where you cannot have no servile work therein, such as the Sabbath day. It shall be no servile work. You had a Passover, no servile work on the first and on the last day. Feast of Tabernacles, no servile work on the first and the last day. So you want to pay attention to the servile work and the non-servile work. Moving on. From 3D7, what are the three major places Israelites were scattered in the New Testament? Right, well, the Israelites in the New Testament, according to the diaspora, they were scattered a lot of parts. Right, let's go to 1 Peter chapter 1 and 1. All right.
It's the book of 1 Peter chapter 1 verse 1.
You had Northern Kingdom during the time of the New Testament. Northern Kingdom was on the other side of the world. All right. And in Mesoamerica. Now you still have remnants that was still in the land, but you had Israelites, they were scattered everywhere. Right, let's go to the book of 1 Peter 1 and 1.
It's the book of 1 Peter chapter 1 verse 1. Peter, an apostle of Yahushua, to the strangers scattered throughout Pontus, Galatia, Cappadocia, right? Asia, and Bithynia.
Right, so you had Israelites all throughout Asia Minor. All right. Bithynia, Cappadocia. They was all throughout Asia Minor. You had Israelites in Corinth. Right, you had Israelites in Ephesus.
Italy.
And you had Israelites in Spain. And Rome. Right, read on.
Elect according to the foreknowledge of God the Father, through sanctification of the Spirit, unto obedience and sprinkling of the blood of Yahushua.
See that? So, hey, we can't really put a specific places where these men were, because they were scattered abroad, meaning everywhere. But let's go to James 1 and 1. So you had Israelites all throughout Asia Minor when you read the New Testament.
This is the book of James, chapter 1, verse 1. James, a servant of Yahweh and of the Lord Yahushua, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad, greeting.
Right. So that answers that. Reggie Smith, Shalom King. What are some ways to get your house in order with just a husband and wife? Right. Well, it's a lot of ways to get your house in order. All right. Let's go to the classic, Sirach, chapter 27 and 3.
It's the book of Sirach, chapter 27, verse 3. Unless a man hold himself diligently in the fear of the Lord,
right,
his house shall soon be overthrown.
So you have to make sure the fear of the Lord is present in your household. If you don't have the fear of the Lord, what is the fear of the Lord? The fear of the Lord is when you fear what the Most High could do to you if you're not moving and operating in the law, statutes, and commandments. So if people in your house, whether it's just you and your wife, if y'all think y'all could just do whatever y'all want and the Most High is not going to judge you, then that house is going to be overthrown. But if you have the fear of the Lord present, oh, it's not. No, don't eat that pork. The Lord could kill us. All right. Hold on. Where's your fringes, babe? Oh, okay. Come on. Yeah, you're right. Put the fringes on. That's what you call the fear of the Lord. All right. And you want the fear of the Lord, first and foremost, to be present in your household. Secondly, you want to make sure your house is a house of prayer. You must be praying with your significant other. You might have prayer times, throughout the days where you pray. You might pray 3 times. You might pray in the morning before you go to work or so with your wife. Then boom, it's 3 p.m. You on break. Y'all praying over the phone. Then y'all pray before y'all go to sleep. In rotation every single day. Clockwork. You want to make sure you read with your significant other. All right? Make sure you read with your significant other. Y'all might read the book of Genesis together. Then y'all might read the book of Tobit together. Then, you reading the book of Revelation with her. You don't want to have that slothfulness in there. Then y'all might, sit back and chill. Y'all might watch a cold cut together. All right, an edifying video, a righteous debate, a camp video. She kind of got the popcorn. All right, you got the taffy apples. Hey, y'all watching the breakdown through the spirit and power. So it's a lot of different ways. It's a studying, getting that studying in, a fasting with your wife, because y'all are now equally yoked. Let's go to the book of Amos, chapter 3 and 3. So there's many different things you could do, but those things that I just listed are definitely imperative.
This is the book of Amos, chapter 3, verse 3. Can two walk together except they be agreed?
Right. So two people can't walk together. They have to be on the same mind. They have to be on the same accord. They have to be moving, guess what, in the same spirit. Or else it's going to be division. And division is where the spiritual demon Satan is rubbing his hands together, saying, hey, this is my time. So that's the answer to that. Did the Lord create the earth in 7,000 years? Like that precept says, one day is 1,000 years with the Lord. Right? No, the Most High didn't create the earth in 7,000 years. Right? The Lord created. Let's go to Genesis 2 and 1. Right? You don't want to take everything in the scriptures literal. All right? Because if you do that, it's going to mess up a lot of understanding. All right? Now, in the Most High's eyes, one day is as 1,000 years to him. That's not literal. It's just it's just showing you how the time that's on the earth is completely different from the time that's in the third heaven. Time it works 2 different ways. Especially seeing that the creator of all things is somebody that works outside of time. Or he's outside of time. He just exists. Us on this earth, the days is, sun and the moon, sun and the moon, sun and the moon. All right, so you can bring that out.
It's the book of Genesis. What you want? Chapter 1, what?
2 and 1.
It's the book of Genesis, chapter 2, verse 1. Thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the host of them. And on the 7th day, God ended his work which he had made, and he rested on the 7th day from all his work which he had made.
Right, so it was 7 days. The Lord created everything in 6 days. And on the 7th day, he rested. All right? And nothing more, nothing less. Now, depending on what you're reading in the Bible, yes, days could mean years. But guess what? These 7 days is literal 7 days. All right, the Most High created everything. All right. So that's pretty much, that's plain.
Yeah, you gotta be careful with your mind, man. Sure.
I have from Brother G. Yasharala. I have a question. No scoff. Please break down Isaiah 53 and 10, particularly the seed. All right, let's go to it.
All right, this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 53 and verse 10. Yet it pleased the Lord to bruise him. He hath put him to grief. When thou shalt make his soul an offering for sin, he shall see his seed, he shall prolong his days, and the pleasure of the Lord shall prosper in his hand.
Right. Now start at verse number 8. So when you read Isaiah the 53rd chapter, that's dealing with the suffering servant, also aka Yahweh Shai. All right. Start at verse number 8.
Verse 8. He was taken from prison and from judgment, and who shall declare his generation? For he was cut off out of the land of the living. For the transgression of my people was he stricken.
Right.
And he made his grave with the wicked and with the rich in his death, because he had done no violence, neither was any deceit in his mouth.
Because Yahweh Shai, he was innocent in his spirit. He was as a lamb that was brought toward the slaughter. He didn't do anything wrong. He just did what the Father told him to do. And they killed him. Read on.
Yet it pleased the Lord to bruise him. He had put him to grief.
Right.
When thou shalt make his soul an offering for sin.
Meaning when you make his soul was an atonement. Because he was that lamb without spot and without blemish. Read on.
He shall see his seed. He shall prolong his days, and the pleasure of the Lord shall prosper in his hand.
Now, when you say, well, he shall see his seed, you might think, well, hold on. Christ has children. All right. Christ has daughters and sons. What is it talking about? He shall see his seed. Guess what? The Christ is also personified as a father. All right, let's go to Isaiah chapter 9 and 6. All right, that word seed is not, depending on the context, it doesn't always mean semen. You have seed meaning stock of people, kindred, offspring, etc. Read on.
This is the book of Isaiah chapter 9 verse 6. For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given.
Right.
And the government shall be upon his shoulder. And his name shall be called Wonderful, Counselor, the Mighty God, the Everlasting Father.
So Christ is known as the Everlasting Father. Not that he's the Heavenly Father, but he's a father to the fatherless. He has father characteristics. Just look how he dealt with the 12 disciples. He was like almost, yes, he's the Son of Man, but he was like their father, for lack of better terms. So when it says, when thou shalt make his soul an offering for sin, he shall see his seed. All right? When the Lord, after he was crucified, guess what? He was resurrected. That wasn't the end all be all. He was resurrected and he came to see his 12 disciples. Read on.
He shall prolong his days, and the pleasure of the Lord shall prosper in his hand.
Read on.
He shall see of the travail of his soul, and shall be satisfied. By his knowledge shall my righteous servant justify many, for he shall bear their iniquities.
So it's going into how Yahweh Shai was made an atonement for the sins, right? After his death, he inspired many, right? He prolonged his days because he came back and he was on the earth for many days, all right? Before he got beamed up in Acts, the first chapter, 1 and 9. Read on.
Therefore will I divide him a portion with the great, and he shall divide the spoil with the strong.
Right.
Because he hath poured out his soul unto death, and he was numbered with the transgressors, and he bare the sin of many, and made intercession for the transgressors.
Con. Right. So that's what it's going into. It's not that Christ had babies. All right, from self-knowledge. Shalom, guys. Are the nukes going to drop before or after the return of the Messiah? Right? Well, the Messiah is going to return. He's going to save his elect. But still, you're going to have missiles dropping in the mist. All right? Let's go to the book of Revelation, chapter 8. Right? You're gonna have the seven vials and the seven trumpets. Right? You're gonna have stars falling from heaven. Right? So missiles, well, nukes is, that's a very, very, very big bomb. So, nukes dropping before, it's a very possible chance that could happen. But missiles as well is going to be dropping before Christ comes back and after. Because Christ is returning on what? He's returning on it once the seven seals are finished. Now you're going to have the vials and you're going to have the trumpets as well. All right. It's already missiles dropping as we speak. All right. Now missiles, it's going over there in the Middle East. It hasn't hit America yet, but it's already missiles dropping. Now a nuke specifically, that's something totally different from a missile. A nuke is 100 times way more powerful. 3 nukes could possibly wipe out this whole country. So I'm not sure if you meant missiles or a nuke specifically, but you can bring that up.
What verse?
Revelation chapter 8, start at verse 3.
It's the book of Revelation, chapter 8, verse 3. And another angel came.
It's like verse 2.
God. And I saw the 7 angels which stood before God, and to them were given 7 trumpets.
See that? So you had 7 trumpets, which is going to be kicking off simultaneously with the 7 vials. I'll jump down to verse 7.
Verse 7. The first angel sounded, and there followed hail and fire mingled with blood. And they were cast upon the earth, and the third part of trees was burnt up.
Right.
And all green grass was burnt up. So
that hail mingled with fire is going into the ICBM missiles, falling and destroying this place. Now you're going to have men, they're still going to be living during the third trump, if it be at the Most High's will. That's in 2nd Ezra's, the 5th chapter, 3 on down. So these missiles are going to be dropping before Christ returns and afterward. Once Christ saves his elect, then and destroys the heathen, then it's going to be the final wrath of the Lamb of God. All right. So Lord willing, that answer your question. But with that, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh by Hashem HaMashiach Kumanak Yahushua. Lord willing, this video is edifying. Continue to read, pray, fast, study. Most importantly, beseech the Heavenly Father for his mercy. You want to stay tuned? We're going to do another live stream going into 2nd Esdras, the 13th chapter, right after this. Brother Tazamah.
Brother Shema Wa'al.
Kwame Yashala. Shalom.